Commander Zexthul adjusted his crystalline eye stalks as he observed the human vessel approaching through the view screen of his flagship. The sleek Zerathian dreadnought Void's Edge was armed with plasma cannons that could vaporize asteroids, quantum torpedoes that bent space-time itself, and shield generators powered by miniature stars. Against such overwhelming firepower, the human ship looked laughably primitive. "Sir," his tactical officer Veltar chittered nervously, "the human vessel is... it's not what we expected." Zexthul's mandibles clicked in amusement. The Galactic Council had warned them about humanity's supposed military prowess, but what approached them was barely worthy of being called a warship. It was a converted cargo hauler, its hull scarred and patched with what appeared to be storage containers welded to its exterior. "What armaments are they carrying, Veltar?" "That's just it, sir. Our sensors detect no plasma cannons, no particle beams, no antimatter warheads. They appear to be carrying metal projectiles, primitive kinetic weapons." Zexthul's forearms gestured dismissively. "Kinetic weapons? What is this, the Stone Age? Ready our plasma batteries. This will be over quickly." The human ship, designation Terran Freight according to their databases, came to a halt at the edge of weapons range. Its communications array crackled to life. "Zerathian vessel. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. You are in violation of the Centauri Accords. Stand down immediately." Zexthul activated his own communicator, his translator rendering his words in the crude human tongue. "Human, your primitive vessel is no match for Zerathian technology. Surrender now and we may allow you to serve as laborers in our mining colonies." The response came back immediately, tinged with what sounded like amusement. "Zerathian Commander, you're about to discover why the rest of the galaxy calls us the Crazy Ones. Beginning attack run now." On the view screen, the human ship began to accelerate. Not toward them, which would have been suicide, but past them, beginning what appeared to be a wide orbital trajectory around Zexthul's formation. "Sir, they're launching projectiles," Veltar reported, his voice confused. "Thousands of them. But they're not aimed at us. They're just scattering them into space." Zexthul watched in bewilderment as the human ship continued its wide circle, occasionally ejecting what looked like small metal spheres into the void. The objects had no propulsion, no guidance systems, no warheads that his sensors could detect. They were just metal balls drifting in space. "Are they trying to create a debris field?" one of his sub-commanders asked. "Perhaps it's some sort of primitive chaff to confuse our sensors," suggested another. After 20 minutes of this bizarre display, the human ship completed its orbit and came to a stop, now positioned on the opposite side of the stellar system from where it had started. "Zerathian Commander," came Captain Chen's voice again. "I'm transmitting our orbital calculations to you now. You might want to review them." Zexthul's science officer, Kethwan, examined the incoming data with growing alarm. "Sir, these projectiles, they're not random. They've been placed at precise points throughout the system. The calculations show orbital mechanics, gravitational interactions, velocity vectors." "What are you saying, Kethwan?" "Sir, every single one of those projectiles is on a collision course with our fleet. Not now, but..." He paused, double-checking his readings. "In approximately 14 minutes. Zexthul's eye stalk swiveled toward the tactical display. The seemingly random scatter of metal spheres suddenly revealed itself as something far more sophisticated. Each projectile had been launched with precise timing and velocity to use the system's gravitational fields, planets, moons, even asteroids, as a complex billiard table. The humans had calculated trajectories that would bring thousands of projectiles converging on his fleet's position from every conceivable angle. "Impossible," Zexthul breathed. The computational power required for such calculations, the precision needed. "Sir, incoming message from the human vessel." Captain Chen's voice filled the bridge once more. "You see, Commander, we humans have been playing games with moving objects for millennia. Pool billiards, snooker. We've gotten pretty good at angles and momentum. Now you have about 13 minutes to accept our terms and withdraw from this system. Otherwise, you're going to experience what we call kinetic bombardment the hard way." Veltar's voice was barely a whisper. "Sir, our shields are designed to stop energy weapons and guided missiles. These projectiles have no energy signature, no electronics to jam. They're just solid metal moving at incredible velocity, using gravity assist from multiple celestial bodies." "How fast?" Zexthul demanded. By the time they reach us, sir, some will be traveling at over 15% of light speed. The bridge fell silent. At those velocities, even a small metal sphere would impact with the force of a tactical nuclear weapon. And there were thousands of them approaching from every direction, their paths too complex and numerous to intercept. The humans turned the entire stellar system into a weapon, Kethwan said in awe. They're using planets as ammunition magazines and gravity wells as targeting computers. Zexthul stared at the tactical display, watching the intricate dance of projectiles as they swung around planets and moons, building velocity, converging on his fleet with mathematical precision. No advanced technology, no exotic energy sources, just metal balls and physics. Sir, what are your orders? For a long moment, Zexthul said nothing. Then quietly, signal the fleet. Full retreat, and send a priority transmission to High Command. What should the message say, sir? Tell them we've encountered a species that weaponizes mathematics, and that perhaps we should reconsider our expansion into human space. As the Zerathian fleet engaged their faster-than-light drives and fled the system, Captain Chen watched from the bridge of the Terran freight. Her crew was already beginning recovery operations, collecting the metal spheres before they could cause any real damage to shipping lanes. Think they'll be back? Asked her first officer. Sarah smiled, remembering her grandfather's stories about earth pool halls and the hustlers who could make impossible shots look easy. Not anytime soon. Sometimes the simplest weapons are the most terrifying ones, especially when your enemy realizes you're crazy enough to turn an entire solar system into a billiards table. In the void of space, the last of the metal spheres completed their carefully calculated trajectories, passing harmlessly through empty space where a Zerathian fleet had been just minutes before. The message, however, would echo through the galaxy. Humanity didn't need the most advanced weapons. They just needed to be creative enough to use everything else.